Hello, our friends, Evolutionary Energy Arts family.
Hello there, welcome back.
So we're going to talk about dragons, and we're going to talk about some myths that are, again, probably founded on some sort of reality, and we will share with you our take on a very, very fascinating place. Kunlun Mountains. These are in China. As you could see, they're over to the western side of China. They are enormous. They expand 1,553 miles. The average elevation is insane, 18,000 to 19,685 feet. Wow. These things are mysterious. And one thing that's really, really fascinating, they are forbidden. Yeah, in fact, in China here, as you see, they have 10 forbidden zones. Tourists are not allowed to enter. Oh, there are mysteries there, and this is number 4. Kunlun Mountain. In the depths of Kunlun Mountains, an inaccessible and mysterious mountain range spans more than half the country's territory. It's known as the roof of the world on the land of China. It has an inseparable connection with Kunlun Mountain. It's said that the depth of Kunlun Mountain is the holy mountain of Kunlun Mountain. There is such a mysterious area in these mountains. People can enter this area to find animals and plants and all kinds of flora and fauna, but don't go in casually to avoid accidents. It's dry, cold, and rainless year-round. And, they warn you might fall into a swamp and not be able to pull yourself out. It is the place of myth and legends. And when I ask you to take a look at this, what comes to mind? I mean, look at this. Have any of you ever seen a cadaver? Have any of you ever do you remember in high school, Mr. Bones that everybody would make fun of and put, sunglasses and hats on? It reminds me of something.
It certainly looks like that to me, in a very, very large scale.
Absolutely. So there's all sorts of myths and legends attached to this. It is basically known in some ways as the Chinese equivalent of Mount Olympus. It's a place of the gods. It's a place of beginnings. It's thought to be the center of this world. And I think when I was mentioning that to Cindy, she was picking up on, well, perhaps in some way this is a place where things were restarted after the cataclysm that was the planet Tiamat.
Right. The energy that I got is we have done videos on Tiamat and what happened and the superconsciousness and how that kicks in and what happens. And looking into this energy, it feels like this is like a starting point of that superconsciousness coming together. And what I thought was really fun when I read into this is that there are plants, there's water, maybe other liquids that I'm not aware of. And this has the ability to rejuvenate us. I know many of you have possibly heard of the Fountain of Youth. I think it is found here. And we mere humans, we're not allowed here. We are absolutely not allowed here. There is something forbidden about it. Now, something tells me that you definitely would not want to go there. And gallivant around. I feel that there's things that we don't know and we need to be very, very careful. But I just thought it was really neat that I felt a lot of medicine where, there could be elders and ancients that have been there for a very, very long time. And their bodies are conditioned in such a way that they can tolerate the energies that are on that mountain. But if just anyone walked up there, I don't know that their human body could handle it.
Yeah, it's literally said to be a stairway to heaven. And it represents the divinity and the border between heaven and earth. Interesting, as it's said to be the home of the Queen Mother deity and the King Father deity, the Taoist pantheon of nature spirits, basically. Other deities reside there, as well as a collection of shamans and immortal beings. And of course, there's been sightings there throughout the years of the gods coming and going as well. So this place is really, really, really fascinating. It's specifically the place of such Taoist legends and origins. And again, Taoism is really at the root of Qigong. It is the foundational root of Qigong for those that study Qigong. And there are the legends of the Taoist immortals that live forever, basically. And this is a place of those beings, or where you might encounter one of those beings if you were up there. You know, we've talked about the work of Roger over at Mud Fossil and others that have pointed out that there are many things that look like gigantic bodies on this planet, and gigantic trees and things like that. Well, that's because Tiamat was gigantic compared to Earth. The Earth that we know could not, it really could not support life on the type of scale that Tiamat could. Even when the Earth was in a golden age with more oxygen and a much healthier environment, it still is just too physically small. The beings that occupied Tiamat are really at the root of our legends of the Titans and of also the beings like these dragons.
Mm-hmm. The dragons are very, very beautiful. I believe at the core of every person, there is a dragon being that is your guide. We all have dragon energy to call on, and there might be a lot of misconceptions in the West of dragon or serpent energy, but really dragons and serpents, these are indicators of great wisdom, ancient knowledge, calling on your ancestors. They're very beautiful, they're very important, and at one point, this was the essence of a much bigger planet with these beings who are just absolutely fabulous and remarkable. So it's not that they never existed, it's that they always existed.
Interestingly enough, it's also the place where the equivalent, the Chinese equivalent and counterpart to Adam and Eve were transplanted in order to repopulate the earth. So that says a lot, and that goes along exactly with what Cindy was picking up. And also, when you look to the dragon energy, it does, and it correlates also to the Kundalini. And Kunlun, Kundalini, there's a common root there. Tiamat itself, again, is depicted as a dragon in legends, but unfortunately, the power structure will paint a negative light on Tiamat and talk about it in terms of a chaotic type of energy, but the reality is it's the control structure that brings the chaos, because Tiamat is definitely a divine feminine energy, and yet it is a serpentine sort of energy as well.
Water, emotions, movement, the ability to change, adjust. These are all the qualities of Tiamat, and these are all the qualities that we have inside of ourselves. If we can quiet our minds, we can find that. Now, the dragon energy, it can be very, very, very disruptive. It is extremely powerful. So if you're one that feels like you might have some of this chaotic dragon energy, exercises like yoga, mind, body, breath can really help bring that down a notch and help you be able to embrace that, harness it, and direct it in a way that's going to be advantageous to you instead of problematic.
Absolutely. So what do you think? What do you think about this? What do you feel about this? Please do share your comments. Again, we want to thank everybody for your support over on Patreon. Much love and namaste.
Namaste.